Okay, so I wasn't sure what to title this video, but it's going to be things that I learned from Charlie Kirk and things I'm going to take away from what happened to him. It's impacted me a lot more than I thought it would. And unfortunately, I can't change what happened or do anything about it. The only thing that I can do is learn from the great example that he left and the great life that he lived. And so I'm going to be sharing very specific action items that I'm currently working on following what happened to Charlie Kirk. The example that he left behind was so impactful that it really has inspired me. And I'm going to be very specific on what I've learned. And so firstly, it is to be more eloquent and more well-spoken. This is something that I'm working on, trying to eliminate the ums, uhs, buts, all of that stuff, and just be more firm in how I communicate. I tend to be very apologetic when I'm speaking, and I'm always sorry about something, even if I've done nothing. I'm just always saying sorry. So I'm working on that to be more firm. I can be firm but kind. And so that's one of the things. The next thing is actually to be even more extreme in my decluttering than I currently am. So following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there was obviously a lot of people sharing the way that he specifically impacted their life. And something that I noticed is that it was all about his character and the way that he treated them. It was not about what he had. I didn't hear any single person talk about, wow, Charlie Kirk had really great clothes, Charlie Kirk had really great things. And so I'm very into minimalism and being like anti-consumer, not be materialistic, but I do let other people's opinions impact. Specifically, what I'm specifically talking about actually is my wardrobe. So I got to the point, I think 2 years ago, where I decluttered all of my dresses into 10 dresses. But then I was hearing outside voices telling me that you're always wearing the same thing and blah, blah, blah. And so I listened to that, even though I have different priorities and not trying to be a pick-me, okay? It's just, I don't think that what you wear should be that important. And don't get me wrong, I do care about what I look like, and I do think we should look nice. I'm actually trying to dress a little more elegant, but one of my I guess dreams is to have the least amount of clothes as possible while not looking like I'm wearing the same thing every day, because I don't care, but I do know people notice, and part of me is like, if you're noticing, like if I see someone else wearing something that they recently wore, I notice because it has a pattern. So I'm working on being more neutral with my clothing. I have a lot of pattern clothing, so that's probably why it looks so repetitive, but this is so specific. Okay, what I'm saying is, when I notice other people wearing the same thing, I obviously don't comment on it because it doesn't matter. And so I'm trying to get into the mindset, if someone has something to say about it, like, there are more important things in the world, and I don't want to be remembered for what cute clothes I had. And that's something, again, not saying that I don't care about clothing, okay, because I do. And actually, specifically as I'm getting older, I notice my style getting more mature, and my goal right now is actually just to dress a little more elegant and proper and classy. But I also don't want to have so much clothes that it's overwhelming to me, as it has been recently. And so I'm working on decluttering my wardrobe even more than I already have, and trying to stick to more neutral clothing, less patterns, to ultimately hopefully have a wardrobe that everything could be mixed and matched, and it's still classy, still elegant, still nice, but not something that is constantly taking up my mind. Like, you know, like, all of your clothes should be clothes that you like, so you don't have to worry and stress about, what am I gonna wear, because you like all of your clothes. That's basically what I'm saying. The next thing that I learned is that I am going to keep making videos. I had originally planned to stop making videos in the near future, and the reason for this is because I think too much about everything, and I just thought everything that has everything that needs to be said has already been said. What more can I add to it? Again, I don't know how to say this without sounding, I don't mean to sound pretentious or self-important, because I'm not, I'm nobody. But I have noticed people have been watching my videos recently, and people have commented that it's encouraging to them, and that is encouraging to me. And so part of me is like, and I think this is from the devil, it's like, you have nothing important to say, so just stop, like, don't even waste your time. But then part of me is like, people actually have been encouraged, and so maybe I can share a different perspective. And so I will continue to make videos as long as God is giving me topics and things to talk about. I actually will, though, be taking a break very soon, just for a few months. I just need to think and pray a lot about how I want this to go, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't put that much effort into editing this, because I'm just like, I want as simple as possible. I don't want to spend more time on the internet than necessary, but I also want to post videos on the internet. So it's very, I'm telling you, I just think too much about everything. But what I'm saying is, yes, mostly everything has already been said and done, but I think I can still offer a perspective to any topic, and people who want to watch will watch, and people that don't want to watch will not watch. And I think as long as I can help one person get close or closer to God, that's the main goal here. So I'll do this just for one person. And yeah, I learned that about Charlie. I think too, I'm telling you, I don't even know how to word this, but I think so much about everything. And one of my thought processes was, I'm a stranger to people watching this, so why would they care? Charlie Kirk was a stranger to me, and his death was really impactful to me, because even though I never met him, I never knew him personally, the example that he lived just by the videos that I saw of him was very admirable. And there are actually a lot of people that I've seen online that I've kept something I've learned from them, I've kept it with me. And so I hope that I'm able to do that for someone else. And then the next thing that I learned from Charlie Kirk is to read more. I have not actively read in a really long time besides the Bible. I have not read fiction. I have not read nonfiction books. I just quit reading altogether. I quit reading the closer I got to God. Fiction books were just so meaningless to me. They were so dumb, and I didn't see the point of them. And I also mistakenly stopped reading nonfiction books, because I thought, what's the point of this? Like, the only full education I should have is of the Bible. Which is not, I don't think that's a wrong mindset to have, but I also think it's good to have a good gist of a little bit of an education in multiple topics, not just the Bible, because those other topics such as history and media and politics, all of that, being educated on that can help also lead people to Christ, because that, like, these are points of conversations, like, people talk about these things. So I should be able to have at least the basics. So I have began to read again nonfiction. I also, again, I decluttered all of my books. I just cannot stand clutter. So I was like, what am I gonna read? I would go to the library, but they just didn't have good books. So I actually found this website that you can get free PDFs online. It's completely legal. I will put it in the description box. And I've been reading, and I've just been enjoying it so much. I am currently reading the Thomas Sowell, so I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, Thomas Sowell book. It's called Inside the American Education System, and it's just mind-boggling, because he has articulated everything that I've thought that I've never been able to articulate. I'm barely in the first chapter, okay? But I've been really enjoying it. I'm excited to just get through it, because I work in public schools, and it's crazy out here, y'all. It's crazy. And it's so sad, and I always feel helpless, and I feel, am I the only one? Let's see, what's going on here? or everybody's just going along with it and nobody's saying anything about it. And yeah, just what I've read so far, it's just so fascinating. He like puts it in, it's like facts and like studies, but he puts it into like, I can read this, I can understand this. So I really am enjoying his writing style as well. And I'm hoping that that can help me. So something that I've always wanted to talk about on my channel is how messed up the education system is. But I'm actually so scared to get fired because I'll be like criticizing the place I work at basically. But I think just being more educated, something that I read in the book is that if you, so it said something about college students, how college students go into colleges very convicted on what they believe in, but they have no facts to back up their convictions. And so having an opinion without facts behind it is not very valuable. And I thought that was so true, because I have a lot of things that I believe in that I could not back it up with actual facts. And so I'm so excited to just actually be more educated on multiple topics that I'm interested in. And so that's another thing that I learned from Charlie Kirk. He was a big reader. I know I actually downloaded his books too. I think there's two. College is a Scam, which I concur. And there's another book, but I haven't started. I started College is a Scam, but I'm more into the American Education System book right now. So I will read that next. And then the last and most important thing I learned from Charlie Kirk is to speak up for what's right. And I believe the Bible is right. Jesus is the most important person to me. He changed my life. And so I want to speak up for him, and I want to be bold for him like Charlie Kirk was. It's not something that comes easy to me. My goal would be to get to the point where I can speak literally whatever I want about Jesus and not care what anyone has to say about it. And I'm not at that level yet, if I'm being completely honest. I want to get to that level, and I want to not care what anyone has to say about my beliefs, because everyone says everything they believe in without batting an eye, and I should be able to do the same because I know what I believe to be true. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be bold for Jesus, and it's obviously easier said than done. I can say it so easily that I want to be so bold, but then in the moment when a time comes to be bold, the question is like, am I bold or am I not? Am I gonna obey God and only care about what he thinks? You know, in Galatians where it says, I forgot what it says. It says, am I persuaded by men? Actually, my next video is going to be about this, okay? But I think it's Galatians 2:20 or 1:10, one of those. It says something like, if I was a servant to men, then I wouldn't be a servant to God, something like that. But you know what I mean? But yeah, I think Charlie Kirk left a great legacy behind. I will be attaching some of my favorite videos of his, or some like TikToks that I saw that I liked about him. Yeah, I really pray for his family, and I hope, but I've also seen that this tragedy has led a lot of people to start going to church again, and a lot of people to be more bold for Jesus, and that's amazing to see. And I think this is the revival that we all needed here in the States. I will see you next time.
Some people might be here and you might have never been involved in church or whatever, and you might say, I came here for Charlie, and I don't know about this church thing. That's fine. Welcome. There's a creator that wants to get to know you, that gave you a gift so that you can live forever. You're broken by your nature. You're not going to get enough points on the scoreboard to get you to eternal life. And there is a gift that you can accept that can get you there. The gospel in 4 words is Jesus took my place. The gospel in 3 words is him for me. 2 words, substitutionary atonement, and 1 word, grace. What is grace? We say that a lot. Amazing grace. Well, first we must talk about what justice is. Justice is getting what you deserve, a prison sentence. A judge comes in and say, you broke into the store, you get a year in prison. Mercy is you go in front of the judge, they say, you broke in the store, but you serve a month in prison instead of a year. It's getting less of a sentence. But grace is at your sentencing hearing, When someone shows up and says, I'll serve the prison sentence for that guy, that's what Jesus gives you.
What do you believe in?
Jesus Christ. I believe in heaven. I believe in hell. I believe in the Bible. I believe in America.
Are you a Christian by any chance?
Very, very much so.
Like, why is that exactly?
Jesus saved my life. I'm a sinner, gave my life to Christ, most important decision I ever made.
So you believe the Bible is real?
Yes, I believe the Bible is true and real.
How do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.